We do have good news, though. There is a phrase I'm sure most of you have heard. Get woke, go broke.
Oh, yeah.
Check this story out from Bounding into Comics. New rumor claims that Falcon and the Winter Soldier viewers turned off the show after Black Lives Matter messaging. Before we even get into this, I'm just going to say, I believe it. So there was this meme. I wouldn't say it was a meme. It was some data that was posted on Reddit where it was like critic reviews versus audience review disparities. So it was like a data Reddit. And you can see where movies where the critics said it was bad, but the audience said it was good, and movies where the critics said it was good and the audience said it was bad. Captain Marvel was one of them. Captain Marvel is rotten according to the audience, but fresh according to the critics. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. So here's the story. They say this. For those that are familiar, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is one of those new shows on Disney+. They say a relatively new rumor claims that viewers of the recently released Falcon and the Winter Soldier turned it off after the show featured Black Lives Matter messaging. They say, Overlord DVD claims that a source communicated to him that the tune-out timestamp for the second episode of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier revealed viewers stopped watching the show before the episode ended. As explained by Overlord DVD, TOTS is logged. TOTS is timestamp. What is it? Tune-out timestamp is logged on Disney Plus whenever a viewer stops watching a particular movie or television episode. It's useful to the bean counters at Disney Plus to note when they lose a particular viewer, because this can give them valuable data about how the show is doing and what the viewer thinks about. It goes on to state, the source claims that around 5 p.m. on Saturday across the board, the timeout tune stamp, is that, wait, the tune out timestamp, they got it backwards.
Yeah.
For the second episode of The Falcon and Winter Soldier went crazy, with people turning off the show in droves all around the same part of the show within seconds. That part of the show, apparently they show this image where the cops pull up to Sam and Bucky. Now, Bucky's a white dude, Sam's a black dude. And the cops are like, is there a problem, sir? To Bucky, who's white. And he's like, no, he's my friend. And they're like, are you all right? What's he doing? And then he's like, don't you know who this is? And they're like, what? That's the Falcon. And they go, oh, I'm so sorry. I saw that. I was just like, dude, come on, man.
That's subtle, though. That was really subtle.
It's subtle.
Nuanced,
That was
yes.
subtle.
Yeah.
I'm missing this. Who's the Falcon?
The Falcon?
Yeah.
Are you,
Well, not the broads. No, I don't know who the Falcon is in the broads. But is the Falcon the white guy or the black guy?
Black guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were like, have reverence for this guy, and everyone was
the
like,
cops pulled up and they saw a white guy and a black guy arguing, and then asked the white guy if he was all right and if he needed help because of this black guy.
Because he fit the profile.
Yeah.
He was a superhero.
people
wait.
had it.
And then Bucky is like, don't you know who that is? He's like, that's the Falcon. And then the cop goes like, oh, geez, I didn't realize. They were doing this, the very kind of over the head a little bit.
And that's the problem. They can't keep it out of the culture. I mean, Breitbart said the greatest thing, politics is downstream from culture. All right. That's what they do, is they inject those things into the culture and they expect people not to notice. Here's the problem. They are so unsubtle these days. Trump made them so crazy that they ripped the masks off and they stopped being subtle. And now they're just beating you over the head about it.
Wow.
And people don't like that.
Trump was the artistic Trojan horse. He got in there and just caused the entertainment industry to go haywire.
Or the giant stink bomb let off in the room, or whatever you want to call it. But he made them so angry they stopped being good at their PR game.
Check this out. They go on to say, the source says, quote, my jaw hit the floor. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. All the turnout was at the cop scene where it clearly shows they were ready to pull their guns on a black guy arguing with a white guy. It's clear this was the message. He goes on to state, so in other words, Disney felt like sticking a Black Lives Matter message smack dab in the middle of Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 2. And what do you know? Apparently fans who are sick to death of bad news and tragic headlines decided they had enough and turned the episode off. Overlord DVD claims, according to his source, over the course of Friday and Saturday, a full 79.9% of people that were tuning in stopped watching at that point in the story. Ooh. The number would apparently increase over the next few days as well. According to this source, over the next few days, the average went up to 83.49% overall. That means 83.49% of viewers turned off the episode at almost exactly the same woke point. He adds, the source claims there were also a lot of subsequent cancellations happening in real time. Maybe it's not a real source. Maybe it's not good information. Okay. I don't know. It's rumor. It's rumor.
It makes me feel good. How about that? If nothing else. And here's the nice thing. We can play information warfare. Yeah, that's actually definitive. I heard a guy say that too.
Mm-hmm. There is no doubt.
A Disney guy is now in my ear right now telling me that that's fact.
That what'd you call it? Enhances my love for humanity, my belief that humanity is awake, aware, and wise. If that's real.
The get well, go broke stuff?
Yeah, that people just have no time for this junk.
I was just watching Family Guy earlier, and it's one of the older episodes where Joe, who's the cop, you guys know Family Guy, he pulls up, and then, Peter's sitting on the couch, and he hears on a megaphone, it's the police, come out with your hands up or something. Peter goes outside, and he sees Cleveland, Quagmire, and Joe in a SWAT van. And he's like, wow, what's this? And then Joe's like, come on, we're going for a beer run in this new police van. The next scene, it shows them in the police van. And then Joe goes, the van is equipped with the latest police technology. He says, Peter, stand in the circle. Peter walks into a circle, and then all of a sudden arms come down. It goes, you are under arrest. And then it grabs his hands and cuffs him. You have the right to remain silent. And then Peter goes, wow, cool. And then Cleveland goes, let me try. Cleveland, of course, being the black character. And Joe goes, Cleveland, no, wait, don't. And then two arms come down with batons and start beating him, going, minority suspect found. And then when Quagmire falls to the ground, they go, oh, no, he has a gun. And then an arm lowers a gun. That was really funny. It's an old Family Guy joke. That's one way to incorporate these ideas in humor that most people would laugh about, because it's not asserting necessarily as a truth. It's not like a scene in an action drama where the cops are going after a superhero. Oh, no, because they're racist. It was making a joke about racism while being very, very subtle and funny about it.
And Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Did you guys see that movie? I was just watching the interview with him and Rogan last night again, and he was talking about it and how it's still, he hasn't been, because that movie was making fun of the actors that would play that character of blackface. He wasn't playing blackface. He was playing a white guy that was in blackface. And it was very obvious how ridiculous it can be. And that's what Family Guy does in a lot of ways.
And it's smart.
So Crowder does in a lot of ways. They cancel him for it. They try to cancel him for it.
But if they got back to that, like it's when Jon Stewart started doing the news, and he became essentially CNN for the left. And when he was doing the Daily Show, he would play clown nose on, clown nose off. It was never off, right? It was all clown nose.
Yeah.
And because of that, he inserted so much leftist propaganda and viewpoints that he could never get in and get people to listen to in a straight news shot.
But Jon Stewart was honest.
He was.
Jon Stewart praised Project Veritas on more than one occasion. They wouldn't do that today. They wouldn't. Because Jon Stewart recognized he had his opinion. Well, I'll put it this way. Jon Stewart was a guy who has his opinions, who were liberal. He had liberal opinions. But he was an honest guy about his opinions. That's why I thought The Daily Show was awesome with him. So when Project Veritas did the whole Acorn sting, he was like, journalists, where are you? This dude's pulling off major journalism. What's going on? And he shows James O'Keefe and the pimp out and all that stuff. And then later on, he also praised him, in another circumstance. Imagine Don Lemon and Brian Stelter being like, these conservative journalists are doing a great job. That was never going to happen.
No. And they've gone past. They've gone over the top in their own beliefs. And it's partly because now they're so angry, they can't see that it's not working. And it is working. All right. It's working for a large segment of the population who doesn't have the time to break through the haze. But now you've got alternative sources of information like what we're doing right here. And other places. For now. But so what? You're building subscription. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant idea to tell people, hey, they're coming for all of us, and point out they're coming for you too. All right, whoever you are out there right now, they're coming for you in some way, shape, or form. Get on board and fight back, because that's what we're doing.
And this is important too, because this is going to be a shout out for Timcast.com, but it's also an important point about what you can do and what we're doing. So we set up Timcast.com initially just like, okay, we need a place to put content in the event we get banned, because Facebook actually put a restriction on my page, and now that page is basically defunct. So we started Timcast.com. We're going to do bonus segments for everybody. We got a bunch of new members, and I said, okay, let's build an even better website. Let's streamline it, upgrade the graphics, and make it look better. And then I was like, we need to actually make culture. Mm-hmm. So I got a script. I got a treatment, a proposal for a show sent to me by a comedian. We want to make a sitcom. I said, let's do it. Let's make a sitcom. Maybe we'll try and get it on a mainstream streaming service, or maybe I'll just put it on Timcast.com, because I'll tell you, I want to create a website where we just do comedy specials, we do sitcoms, we do drama, we do movies, we do video games. We just start building the culture that's been taken over by the woke. Vice, man. Yeah. I remember why I wanted to go to Vice. Why I talked to them and I said, I'd like to work here, because they were edgy. They were regular people.
They were crazy at the beginning.
Yeah, I loved
absolutely.
them.
But they'd go, look, you had Ryan Duffy's Bulletproof Clothing. He goes down to meet this crazy guy who's like, I make clothes that are bulletproof, and they actually shoot. He's wearing this trench coat, super heavy and thick and bulletproof. Those were fun and exciting stories where some regular guy who was off the cuff, kind of punk rock, sex, drugs, and rock and roll were going on these adventures. Now it's woke, ultra woke. It's as establishment as it comes. It's boring mainstream corporate garbage We need to bring back fun, exciting, and, we need to bring back punk rock, man.
I think it's brilliant. I love when we claim now that conservatism is punk rock. Now
Weirdly,
that being
a lot of it is.
But let's just make it anti-woke, because everybody gets hung up on
Right.
things. I don't want to be conservative. I'm not a Republican. Okay, neither am I. But I am anti-woke. All right? I'm based. Whatever you want to call it.
Well,
I'm
the left uses
shooting-
based as well.
Yeah, I'm shooting white pills, whatever. Whatever you want to characterize it as, we're punk rock. We are now the rebels. We're the anti-establishment.
So weird, isn't it?
It's bad. I love it.
Last night we had Brandon Tatum on the show. Officer Brandon Tatum, he's no longer a police officer. And we were talking about running away from a fight. And he was saying where he grew up, you were thought of as a punk if you would turn and run. And he kept saying punk. And it crossed my mind a couple times that punk rock. It is punk to run away from a fight. That's punk rock.
No. That's not what he was saying. He was saying you were getting punked.
Yeah, he was
pranked.
using the same word punk. And it's like that word
It's a
has
synonym, bro.
Sometimes that word has negative connotations, but in reality, it's cool to be punk. It's cool to turn and run and avoid a fight. That's punk rock, dude.
A physical fight
That's
you can
my
choose
point.
to avoid.
Yeah.
A battle of ideas and a culture war you need to
No,
not
well,
walk
like
away.
you said, you don't play to their level, man. You stay punk. You stay on your level.
No,
Because if you do that, if you don't
I
fight
definitely
back
think
now-
that analogy is missing out. What we're doing is literally fighting back as hard as we can.
Well, like you said, if someone's like, well, what about Z? You just keep talking about Y.
But that's still fighting. You're
Right.
just not letting them dictate the terms
not-
of the fight.
Right, that's
I'm not
punk
gonna-
rock. I'm going to violate your rules. That I'm punk,
I'm not going to fight the alligator underwater like you said, Ian.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
going to stand
fist-
on land and be like, "You want to go? I'm up here on the
Drag
beach."
the chicken up the bank, and when the alligator gets out there, I'll beat him to death with a baseball bat. All right?
Got a
That's what we're going to
strategy.
do. But I'm
So-
still going to fight it because
Punk-
he's evil, and I want him done, and he's trying to shut us down.
I'm
or
talking
starve
about
them out or something. Yeah, there's other
Sure.
ways to win
I
a
don't
war.
care.
I'm talking about punk rock in the sense of fighting the establishment and telling the nerds, the boring people, the authoritarians, the NPCs to buzz off. We're going to do our thing. We're going to make fun, exciting content. Young people are going to want to be a part of it. They're going to be inspired by it, by the talent, by the enterprise, and they're going to look to these woke, boring teachers who tell them what they can or can't do, and they're going to be like, "I choose freedom."
So, no laugh track.
No, definitely.
no.
Okay, good.
Have a live audience.
Thank you.
Just have enough of an
No,
audience.
no, it's going to
Too
be,
small?
it's going to like.
I mean, maybe we could do a laugh track on purpose for
no,
something.
this is
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
we're it's going to be a modern show. It's going to be
That should be the name of it too. Modern
it's-
show.
The modern
No.
comedy show.
I don't know.
Perfect.
no. There's a pitch for it. It's someone else's project. It's already got a
Oh,
name.
nice.
Already got an outline, and so I'm being asked to fund it. And I was like, I'll buy the show. You make it. We'll put it on timcast.com for members. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to see the full show, come back to this channel, youtube.com/timcastirl, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., where you can leave comments and super chat, and we actually will read your comments on the show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you want exclusive members-only content, segments you can't get anywhere else, go to timcast.com, become a member, and we even have full bonus episodes. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.